おはようございます. So today's topic is, as stated in the title, we can't trust our memories. So one thing I've learned with our memories as humans, is that we can actually change it accordingly to suit our motivations and our agendas, and other people can do it too. It's like even entirely made up memories can be planted so that it would serve us well in the current situation. And studies like science has actually proven this. They showed subjects a video of a car accident, and then they ask questions about it later. So they were split into two groups. The first group was asked, when the cars hit each other, how fast were they going? And the other was asked, when the cars smashed into each other, how fast were they going? So like the difference was the word hit and the word smashed, right? The first group actually mentioned significantly lower speeds than the second group, but they were watching the same video, right? And also, almost everyone in the second group mentioned that they saw broken glass at the crime scene when they weren't really any, which was, yeah, interesting, right? And there's also been like heaps of cases where someone has been falsely accused because the eyewitness was so desperate to catch the criminal that they, just pointed out any Tom, Dick, and Harry that looked similar to the real criminal. Another example would be that a lot of people tend to see their past, the ones with horrible past, they would tend to see their past as like a series of horrible, shitty events, that led to their existence, to their shitty existence now, and they use their past as an excuse, right, for their lack of motivation, their lack of skill, their lack of competence, their lack of happiness, lack of self-esteem, in the present situation. Most of them would probably be thinking like, this is my life anyway. This is how I was brought up. That's why I am the way I am now. That's why I'm so useless. I should just accept my fate. And I feel like we can only recall that information if we're in the bad state in the first place, like in the present, right? It's kind of like how after a rough breakup, or even when you're arguing, right, with your partners, like no matter how hard you try, you can only recall the negative parts about them or the bad events with your partners, no matter how hard you try. It's like your brain's way of protecting you, right? To tell you that, oh yeah, you did the right thing by breaking up with them. Which is why it only can recollect at that moment when you're frustrated and angry at your partner. It's like your brain can only recollect the correct evidence to justify your anger, right? To suit your agenda, which is to not regret your decision to break up with them or to get angry at, throw stuff at them. Or another example would be how, let's say, a guy who likes getting into fights frequently, like who has a short temper, he would justify his behavior by using his past, right? Like saying that his family or like other students in his school was abusive to him as a child, would bully him all the time. So he had to learn violence to defend himself since he was a child. That he has a lot of anger pent up in him. It's like he can't help it. He can't control his anger because of all this. But I actually realized that anger can kind of actually be controlled. Like if you imagine a situation, let's say you're arguing with your mom, right? And you're over something trivial. And you're like shouting at each other, at that point, that climatic point, the phone suddenly rings. Your mom picks it up. Oh, it's the principal, of your school. Her tone immediately changes and speaks really nicely to the principal, right? It's not like she's gonna shout over the phone at the principal, right? And once the conversation finishes, she puts down the phone, and what does she do? She continues arguing with the daughter, right? And the anger resumes. So it's not like anger can't be controlled at all. If you relate this back to the case with the guy who fights often, it's not that he can't control his anger. He's just learned that anger gets the thing that he usually wants, right? Whether it's the girl, whether it's um, asserting dominance over other men when they try to touch his girl, or just fighting for himself, just to protect himself, right? That's he's which is like he's learned that anger works for him, which is why he actually doesn't want to control his anger. I mean, also he might not actually know any other way to substitute that anger to get what he wants, right? Which is why his brain just is so used to that pathway, that quick pathway to anger, that his brain just chooses that default path, like, oh shit, I'm in danger, gotta go to anger. which explains why it takes me a while to recall terrible memories when people ask me, what's your most terrible memory? And like, I can't really give them an answer straight away because I have no reason to think about it on a daily basis anyway. And so it takes a while for my brain to try to access that sort of memory. But good memories, on the other hand, I've got plenty of them. I can access them easily. But I also noticed when I'm in a bad state, for example, when I'm feeling hurt from something, feeling rejected by a guy, like it's easy for me to dredge up bad memories of them, or like negative things that they did to tick me off or to annoy me, because my brain is protecting me from further getting hurt, by bringing up all these bad stuff about them to stop me from liking them any further, right? To justify why I shouldn't pursue them any longer because, they're doing this to hurt you, so you should just leave it. Just leave it alone, He's not worth it. Yeah, even the good memories that I try to recall can somehow be sort of twisted into a bad one. So yeah, memory is definitely a vulnerable and fragile thing. Like, could even be dangerous for you, right? If you're not aware of how much control it has over you in your present situation, right? Especially if you're already feeling depressed or feeling down or feeling unmotivated. Um, but one thing you can take away from this is that you shouldn't, like it's better not to let your memory hinder you from becoming better. You can have those memories, but don't let it stop you from improving yourself. In other words, you should stop using your past as an excuse for your present situation and your present actions and behaviors. Um, or more appropriately, inactions and unfavorable behaviors. Behaviors and actions that don't make you happy um, or make you stressed out. Um, yeah. Statistically speaking, your past actually has no real effect on your future. And I can give you a simple thought experiment that will explain how all this can be true. Just imagine I give you a coin right now, and I tell you that I've flipped this coin 100 times before this, right? Um, and then I'll ask you, what is the probability that this coin, when you flip it the next time, it's going to come up heads? What's your answer? If you know basic statistics and probability, the answer would be still 50-50, right? Doesn't matter that I flipped the coin 100 times before this. It's gonna always be the same probability, even if I flipped it 1,000,000 times. So in a way, the coin's past doesn't really dictate the coin's future. Let's say heads dictates a positive future, and tails is a negative future for us. So in a way, it's like you can, every time you flip a coin to determine your future, the probability is always going to be 50-50, despite what happened in the past. Interesting, right? So yeah, if you find yourself only being able to recollect bad memories of yourself, maybe it's time to reevaluate, why is it that you can't come up with good memories in the first place? Because I'm pretty sure you would have some, right? Otherwise, I mean, if you didn't, then I feel sorry for you, and you should probably leave a comment so that I can call you and talk to you. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure you would have good memories. So if otherwise, like if I think about it, if I didn't have any good memories, I would probably be dead by now. Like I would probably kill myself, or yeah. So yeah, if you don't have any good memories, please just let me know, and I would totally help you gain some good memories. Okay. But other than that, if you do find yourself only dredging up bad memories, yeah, just take the time to think about it. Like why? Why is it that you're only recollecting bad memories? And is it to serve a certain purpose that you have in your life right now? That you don't want to find employment? It's not because you can't find employment, but you don't want to find employment, or that you're afraid, you know, afraid to take that leap of faith, afraid to take that step. It's most likely because you fear, right, the probability that you think all the odds are against you, which is why you don't want to take that leap of faith. You don't want to take that step, that first step into this unknown world where you don't know what's going to happen. The odds are not against you, right? you are against you. The odds are always the same. It's always 50-50. So you should just take a chance because the probability is going to be the same. It's going to be 50-50 whether the outcome turns out shitty or it turns out really, really good for you. So yeah, that's it for today. I know this is kind of heavy. Like, I can't help it. I have a lot of heavy thoughts. But yeah. Again, thanks for watching. If you did watch it to the end, anyway. And see you in the next video. Jenny.